Peace, family. Peace, family. We got a pop-up live. This wasn't planned, but you know what? Today is Friday the 13th, so why not? It feels like a lucky day. I'm going to tune in the Instagram family and let them go live. All right, let me pause that so we don't have no feedback. All right. Now, I don't feel like showing my face, so just hear my voice. Y'all know how I be. So we got a full moon that's coming up this Sunday, and it's going to be a full moon in Gemini if you follow the tropical astrology. Now, a lot of people are probably feeling very chaotic, very emotional. Maybe a lot of arguments may be happening too, right? Like maybe things that you've been having on your chest, you finally being able to get it off your chest. And before we even dive deep into this, if you're coming into the live, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And feel free to engage in the chat because I do look at the chat. And if I see any interesting comments, any interesting questions that pop up, or any super chats, I'll definitely pin it to the screen and give you some screen time. Now, peace, everybody. All right, we see people coming up in the building. How everybody feeling? How y'all feeling with this full moon energy? It's a cold moon, and it's no coincidence why they call it the cold moon. It's been cold as hell here in Brooklyn. All right, where y'all from anyway? Shout out your city, your state, your country, wherever you're from. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and it has been freezing, okay? Like, it don't matter how long I lived here, I will never get used to the cold, ever. All right. Plus, I'm a summer baby. Now, yes, it's Friday the 13th. Yes, Ancient Rose. How you doing, boo? Yes, it is Friday the 13th. And first of all, Friday the 13th is not a bad time. That's just a whole myth. And there's plenty of YouTube videos you guys can look into and find out about that. You can even research it now, right? But in this particular video, we want to talk about this full moon and why is it so relevant? Why is it important? And why did I decide to do a pop-up? Now, a lot of people may be feeling very confused right now, especially if you are feeling conflicted about your goals, your dreams, your relationships, your career, and even asking where do you want to go moving forward, right? So it's perfectly okay to be in this place of confusion or be in this place of the hangman, right? Like if you study the tarot, the hangman is someone who is in a place where they are suspended and they are being forced to analyze everything in their life. And a lot of us are being influenced by the energies that is hitting the planet right now. We got the retrogrades going on, a lot of political chaos, okay, with the earthquakes and everything. The UFOs making themselves announced, and it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things going on. And it may be a lot for people to process, right? Like you're still trying to figure out how am I going to manage my spiritual journey? But then I also have to pay attention to this material realm too, right? Like you want to pursue your creative ideas and you want to pursue like your dreams, right? Your passions, but then again, you get hit with reality like, oh man, there's, the bills is due. The bills is due. You got to go to work. You got to take care of the kids. You got to do all these mundane things. And I know that it could feel very disorienting, right? Full moons make people feel disoriented. Full moons make people, I'm cutting off. Oh man, here we go. Well, I don't know why I'm cutting off. Anybody else can hear me? Someone says that the audio is being cut off. But you know what? I think Mercury's still in retrograde. So I'm not surprised. At this point in time, I'm over it. For real. All right. Everybody said they can hear me just fine. So maybe it might be your connection, boo. Log out and come back in if you're having connection issues. But I want to just say, too, that if you've been feeling conflicted, it's a reason why. If you've been feeling like things are not moving as you wanted to move, ask yourself, is this in alignment with my highest purpose though? Right? And I know it could be so frustrating because I myself hate it. I hate, and I don't use that word often, but I mean, baby, I hate it with a strong passion when people always be like, you know what? You got to go deeper. It's about the higher purpose. And yes, we all know it's true, but we don't like to hear that, right? Anybody else get tired of hearing that stuff? Right? It's like we want answers right now. We get it, spirit. We get that we're not supposed to be focusing on the material. But we are living in a material world, which is about to fall apart, by the way. Right? So money as you know it, your relationship to money as you know it, and even, it's like that tower card moment in the tarot where everything falls apart, where everything that you thought you was is now being a shattered illusion. All the illusions, all of the ideas of who you thought you were, what you thought, your goals were, all of that is being shattered. And now you're being forced to kind of be in this place of isolation. You're being forced to be in this place of the unknown. And for so many people, that can be very scary, right? Like not knowing the next step, not knowing what to do from here. And if you're a control freak, oh man, I can only imagine what you're going through right now. People who have to be in control of every single thing that's going on in their life. They got to be in control of their relationships. They got to be in control of, how they present themselves to the world. They got to be in control of their finances. They got to be in control. But the universe, spirit, your higher self, the forces that control this realm, they're basically putting us in this place where now our ego has to take a back seat so that the spirit can take the wheel. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of big energy moves right now. And that's why I coined the title of this video, right? Like closure, endings, and revelations. Like closure is happening where now we're being forced to close that gateway or close the doors to the things that's not serving us anymore, right? Whatever that may be. Our perceptions, the way that we look at things, the way that we, look at other people, the way that we operate, the way that we move, everything is being coming to a close now. And whatever's not serving you is being removed. It's like a deep cleaning that spirit is doing at this time, a deep cleaning, going deep inside and removing the things. And this is why I wanted to make an announcement that, if you're not already subscribed to my free mailing list, you should subscribe, because I sent out an email letting everyone know that we're going to be doing a full moon ritual this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to be releasing all of the things that no longer serve us. The reason why we're doing this ritual is because the energies are very chaotic, and rituals kind of help to make the process much more smoother. So instead of going into 2025 or the upcoming years confused, not knowing what's going on, not having any protection, it's going to be a lot of shifts and changes. It's going to be a lot of people losing their minds. It is going to be a lot of destruction that's happening with the world. But remember, before order can come, chaos must ensue. And a lot of us are chaos beings. Going back to my teacher, Bobby Hennett, who talks about a lot of us come from that primordial abyss, that primordial power. Before light came into form, there was chaos. There was no form, right? Darkness doesn't have a form. It doesn't have a so-called vessel. It is all over. It is everything and all things. It is the all. You cannot understand it. And then when you look at your soul or your spirit or your essence of coming from that primordial energy, you realize why you're feeling this chaos happening within you. You wonder why you're able to still come on top no matter what type of issues or obstacles come your way. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you've been challenged. There's a reason, because we grow and we develop in those moments of solitude, in those moments of chaos, in those moments of confusion. Confusion happens right before clarity because it forces us to stop what we're doing. It breaks those illusions and it makes us go within. So I have pinned the link to join the ritual. Like I said, once again, the ritual is going to be this Sunday. And the last day to RSVP is on Sunday. So I'm letting you guys know now, you don't want to miss this ritual for the simple fact that it's a group ritual. So we're all going to be doing this together. And we're going to be breaking generational curses. We're going to be invoking the power of our ancestors, our bloodline. Your ancestors are you. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing spooky about it. There's nothing demonic or evil about it, like we have been taught in so many different religions. When I started working with my ancestors, it changed my life completely. They showed me who I was. They showed me what I need to let go of. And they also helped to align me with my true purpose. Our ancestors are our first line of defense. When you don't work with your ancestors, you leave yourself vulnerable to all types of attack, spiritual attack, psychic attack, even physical attack, right? Some people may be going through physical symptoms right now, right? Attack, a lot. There's been a lot of attack on the spiritual community. And at this particular time, you want to bulk up your warriors. You want to bulk up your ancestors around you, and you want to feed them. You want to work with them. Because the next decade, right, 2025 going on, is going to be very interesting. Things are going to get very interesting, like the title says. And shout out to the people who are becoming new members. Shout out to the new members. Now, I want to also make this known that this ritual is going to be complimentary to all Conjurer Society members, right? So the Conjurer Society is our own community, our own separate group. And that's also on my website as well. IamConjureQueen.com. I put all of my links and stuff in my bio if you guys are watching on Instagram and in my YouTube About Me page on my YouTube platform. So once again, guys, if you don't want to miss out what's going on, I would highly suggest you subscribe to my mailing list, because there's even going to be changes with this platform very soon. Like, once this full moon hits, I'm telling you right now, Conjure Queen's platform is going to be different. A lot of things are going to be different. Social media itself is going to be different. And I would highly advise that you also analyze in your life what needs to be different, what needs to change. Okay. Now, it's a lot of people in here now, so I would highly suggest that you hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. It doesn't take much to do that. It doesn't take much to do that. It supports the channel. Now, the reason why we're doing this full moon ritual on Sunday is because, once again, ask anybody who's done our rituals before. Ask around. Our rituals, they not only change us on an individual level, but we have seen the changes and the shifts that happen when we do rituals and how it affects the world around us. I want you to realize how powerful you are. I want you to realize how you have the ability to shift the whole entire energy, not just in a room that you walk in, but you can shift the whole entire neighborhood around you just by being your true, authentic self. I know I'm talking to somebody up in here, okay? Because you know how powerful you are, and that's why so many people have been jealous of you your whole entire life. You always got evil eye. You even probably had adults hating on you when you was a kid because they saw your light and your power. You are just walking in your divine truth, and you have so many people in opposition that's trying to put out your flame. But let that be evidence of how powerful you are. That people have to form groups and talk about you. Look how, isn't that a fan group when people got to come together, create groups just to talk about you, to slander you, to talk bad on you, because they don't have the power to do it themselves. They will never confront you. And like I always say, a lot of us, we got a lot of people talking about us, but they don't never confront us though, because they know what will happen. They're not about that life. This is the time of closure. You're going to have to cut your grass very low, because a lot of people are noticing the people that you thought were cool with you, the people that you thought you were going to go into this new dimension with, Spirit quickly showed you these are not your people. This is not your tribe. The betrayal. And yes, as introverts, you know what's crazy? People always hate on the introverts, the quiet ones, and we just be minding our business. Why is it like that, Amanda? You let me know, girl. Yo, first of all, your name is crazy. But my name is Osama bin Laden. I'm not even mad at it. But girl, You on point. Life without my spirit guides, I can't do it. It's like, yo, once you step into this path, you cannot go back. Like, it's hard to go back. So that's why when people be coming up in here talking about they was a witch, they was a magician. No, let me not use that word witch. People come up on these platforms and they be like, you know what? I was doing that spiritual stuff. I was talking to my ancestors. I was talking to my guides and stuff. And I realized that that was evil. And I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute. Who was you working with? It sounds like you was working with a trickster. It sounds like you wasn't really doing this purpose. Like you realize, these people realize that they tried to get into this purpose, right? They tried to get into the spiritual path, this conscious path, whatever label you want to put on it. And they realized that they got into it for all the wrong reasons. And this is where that big divide is happening now, where people are now who's not really cut from the same cloth that we are, the real chosen ones and the fake ones. Oh yeah, we're about to see who's real and who's not. Point blank, period. They got scared. But listen, that's part of the initiation. I talked about this in my recent video when I was talking about signs you're a chosen one. Now, all of us are going to be tested. There's always a test. There's always a test. When you look at the hero's journey, right? The hero's journey, every hero has to go through that moment where they are challenged. Their biggest challenge is before them. And you can either cower and run away or you face it head on. And only those who are brave enough to face their own demons and conquer them and make them their allies instead of their fears, baby, that is true alchemy. And a lot of people don't have it in them to do that. And so because they're mad, because you have the courage and the power to do it, they now want to throw this whole entire spiritual thing into the garbage and say, oh no, that stuff is evil. Everybody stay away from that. But let me translate to you what they're really saying. What they're saying is, I tried the spiritual stuff. It wasn't working for me. I went through a test. I couldn't pass the test. I failed the test multiple times. It's been proven to me multiple times I'm not chosen. And I kept pushing because I wanted to be popular and trending. And spirit whooped my ass. And my ego is too big to admit that out loud. So I'm going to just say, this is demonic. Look at history and look at what human beings call evil. Everything that they fear and everything they don't understand. And if you are a representation of this chaos energy that they fear, of course they will call you a demon. Of course they will say you're evil. Instead of trying to understand you and get to know you, they easily just slap a label on it because it's easy to just label something than to actually study it, than to do the work. People don't want to do the work. Shout out to the members. People don't want to do the work. And once again, for those who are coming in, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if there are moderators in the building, I might end up getting some wrenches. Who wants some wrenches? Listen, dark matter energy is powerful. And a lot of people can't handle it. And it's a lot of content that I had put out talking about this dark energy and dark magic and chaos energy. And a lot of those videos got taken down because I was revealing too much deep shit. I realized that. Hold on. Let me come over here because I see people saying they want wrenches. Give me a second. Okay. So I just gave a wrench out. Now, like I said before, when we do this ritual on Sunday, family, I want you to be a part of this because what's coming for 2025, you guys have already seen the previews, right? Like the earthquakes, the tsunamis, all of the betrayals and stuff that's been happening, the exposure of Hollywood, um, false leaders falling. How long have we been prophesizing that this time will come? Now we're in those times that we've been talking about 10 years ago. Been on this platform since 2015 talking about all of this, and people thought I was crazy. A lot of y'all been talking about this stuff since probably y'all was able to speak. Since y'all was able to speak words, you probably been prophesizing, and people probably thought you was crazy. Okay? So, moderators, thank you. Once again, the ritual is going to break generational curses. A lot of us, sometimes we got to realize that we have to take time to look within ourselves and ask ourselves what is not working within us. What is it that we need to let go of, right? The cold moon is a cold time, right? Like it's sometimes you have to turn a cold shoulder to the world and go within yourself. This is the hermit mode, right? You're in hermit mode. The hero has to go within the mountains to find himself, to find herself, to go away from the noise of society, to unplug everything that you've been taught, right? Society tells you this is what a relationship is supposed to look like. This is what success is supposed to look like. This is where your life is supposed to be. You have to take all of that stuff that you've been conditioned and programmed, right? Programmed to believe in your conscious mind. You got to take that out. You got to gut that out. It's a deep cleaning happening right now. There is a deep cleaning that's happening right now. Shout out to Straight Panther. Shout out to Rohan, our new moderator. And shout out to the members. Real talk. Now, one thing I will say is this. Be ready for big change on the way. Big change is coming. But change is good, because who wants to stay in stagnant energy? As a matter of fact, something's calling me to hit my singing bowl just to clear the air. I'm ready for 2025. And whatever it may bring, I'm not going into it afraid, and I don't want you to go into it afraid. This is why the ancestors have called me to do this ritual and to call forth the family. For those who feel called, if you don't feel called, that is okay. There is no pressure. There is no force. There is no fear mongering. The only thing I'm going to say is that many are called, but few actually answer it. It's not an easy path, but it's worth it. Because think about it. What if you never went down the rabbit hole? What if you never asked questions? What if you never went beyond the surface? What if you just stayed that person that you used to be? Superficial, being like everybody else, plugged into this matrix, being an NPC before you actually turned on and gained consciousness. What if you never experienced a spiritual journey? Who would you be? How would your life be? Baby, all I know is I always felt empty before I stepped into this consciousness. I always felt like it was more to life than just this bland reality that they gave us. And a lot more people are going to start to wake up to that reality, and they're going to be seeking answers. People are going to start realizing that celebrities are normal human beings. And that's what people are starting to realize now. Celebrity worship culture is dead. They go to closure. People that thought that their life, the value of their life depends upon their relationships. People who live for relationships, hopping in one relationship to the next relationship, never being alone. Well, you're about to have a rude awakening. Because if all you ever done was hopping in and out of relationships and never been alone ever, now you're going to be forced to really face who you really are. And this is even especially so for women. A lot of us have always been taught the whole purpose of life is just to, find a husband, have kids, and live happily ever after. So now you become a mother and you become a wife, but then you lose your individuality. Who are you? Ask any mother, ask any wife, ask any woman, does she feel like she lost herself? And many may not admit it outright because there's that mom guilt, right? There's that guilt or that pressure from society to be a perfect woman, to be able to balance everything. Yeah. And I mean, I know that there's pressure on the men too. I'm not a man, so I can't really speak about the things men go through. But I will say that the men around me, a lot of them have this pressure, feeling like their value is only based upon what they can produce, how much money they can make. So if a lot of men got laid off, or let's say, he poured his whole entire life and resources into a company, into a business, and maybe that's not working out right now, he's probably going through a huge mental breakdown, right? Because he's equated his value to how much he earns. So what happens when the financial system crashes? What happens when the relationship that you built your whole life upon ends? What happens if you made your children your end all and be all, and now they're grown and now they're ready to move on and start their own lives? Now, who are you? These are really deep conversations and things to think about, family. This is what spirit means by endings, closure, revelations. And remember, ending just means the beginning of something new. Something else is happening now. Something else is happening now. So once again, family, this is the time where you want to go within. Friday the 13th, right? 13 is that number of transformation. It's that dark goddess energy, the divine feminine energy. When I say feminine energy, that doesn't just equate to women. Let's get that out of our heads, right? First of all, that feminine energy just means that yin energy, the energy of going within, that dark energy, the chaotic energy. You have to go inside and be able to face the darkness within you. A lot of people don't have the guts to do that. And I respect that. It ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody. And that's why they say that this path, only a few actually travel it. But this ritual, if you want to know the details for the ritual, the items that you need, all of that is in the link that I've pinned in the YouTube chat. And I also have it in the YouTube description. And for those who are on Instagram, it's in my bio link. Okay? Now, full moons bring emotions to be heightened, but it also brings a lot of truths to the forefront. So within the next few weeks, be very aware of the dreams that you have, the visions that you have, the intuition that comes to you. And if you do this ritual with us, I'm telling you right now, once you work with your ancestors, once you learn how to work with your ancestors, right? Because there's multiple ways to do it. But since I've been doing this for so long, and as a necromancer, as a person who deals with the dead, who channels spirits, I sit and talk with them a lot, right? And I hate to say this, but I actually trust dead people more than the living, because the dead can't really hurt you. It's the living that you got to be careful of, right? It's the living that you got to be careful of. Those be the ones that hurt you. But my ancestors been nothing but loving to me. And that's why I want to teach you how I work with my ancestors, rituals that they've given me that have been effective, how to break free of habits that are blocking you, how to remove the dark cloud or hexes or anything that may be on you. If you feel blocked in life, if you feel cursed, if you feel like things is not working out for you, it's a reason. Sometimes our ancestors block certain things because we're going in the wrong direction. And because you're so stubborn, you want to keep pushing forward. You want to keep pushing forward. And listen, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not talking down on anybody. When I say things, a lot of the times I'm speaking from experience. That's me. I could be a very stubborn person. When I want something, I want that. I get tunnel vision. I get hyper focus mode. My neurodivergent mind blocks out everything and I just focus on my goal. But you miss things when you operate that way. And my ancestors had to show me what I was doing wrong. Right? So take this time to reevaluate how you've been operating. Is it still working for you? Is the relationship that you thought was going to be forever, is it still in alignment? Right? What relationships have ended and why? What did you learn from that? Because if you don't learn a lesson, you are doomed to repeat it. And we're not trying to get left back, right? I know I'm not. We're not trying to keep repeating the same class over and over and over again. No, it's time to graduate now. This full moon that's coming is the closure and graduation, moving forward to the next new cycle. And if you're still stuck in the past, then baby, you're going to get stuck in 3D and you're going to feel like you're living in a hell. That's what hell is, being stuck in the same place, reliving your suffering over and over and over again. Pain is necessary in order to grow, growing pains. Suffering is a choice that humans make. You choose your suffering. You choose your hell. And you choose your heaven. So I am offering you to join us in this full moon ritual that I have linked in the description as well as the chat. So that way you can get out of this hell that you're in. Because a lot of us been in it. A lot of us been in it. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of repeating the same goddamn class. I'm ready to freaking graduate out this bitch. Can I get a freaking ashe, an aho? I'm in Ra, okay? Don't play with me. We about to elevate out of this ghetto ass planet. I promise you that. And when I say planet, I'm talking about a plane. A plane, the small plane, the small plan, right? Different planes of existence. Your mind creates the realities. The universe is mental, all is mind. So if your mind is still stuck in that third dimensional type of thinking, you're going to stay in that mindset. That's like the 8 of Swords in the tarot. You're imprisoned by your mind. Get out of that. I want to teach you how to break free of that. I want to teach you how to break free of these blocks and start living the life that you deserve. Anyway, family, listen, I talked enough. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe and RSVP for the full moon ritual that is coming up this Sunday, December 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you RSVP before the ritual closes. There's a registration close time. Make sure that you RSVP before it closes. Once it closes, that's it. Don't hit me up. Oh, Conscious Queen cannot. It's closed. It's done. The ritual is done. Who's in is in. Who's not is not. Maybe you can join our next ritual another time. But you don't want to miss the last full moon of the year. It's the last full moon of 2024. Let's leave all of that bullshit behind. Let's go through this new portal, renewed, shedding the old layer of who we used to be, reborn. Reborn. So I look forward to seeing you in the Ritual family. I love you guys so much. And once again, if you want to be a part of our community, if you want to connect with other chosen ones, other spiritual people who are probably going through the same things as you. And once again, I'm more active in that community, engaging and answering questions with my community. It's more intimate, it's less people, and it's our own social platform outside of YouTube and Facebook and all of this stuff that's just draining. Shit is draining at this point. So yeah, join us over there at the Conjurer Society. And also, I will see you in the moon ritual, the full moon ritual. We're going to be invoking our ancestors. And don't worry if you don't have all the materials, right? If you don't have all the materials, the rituals is all about using your mind, using what you have. That's what our ancestors did. So learn how to get creative. I love you so much. If you have any questions, family, drop it in the comments. And I'll see you on Sunday. Peace.